Hi there, and welcome back to the Lisa Nichols Show, where I share with you the tools that you said you want to live the life that you deserve, to have abundance as a 360 experience, to have joy and prosperity and laughter and love on your terms. I love reading the comments, as you know, and every time we get together, I ask you to please comment. Why? We totally enjoy reading your comments. So on our episode, How to Achieve Prosperity in Your Life, God, I got so many responses. I love Simply V. I love you. I love your comments. You said, quote, "One of the many things I took from this video is to find someone who isn't afraid to hold me accountable." I love it. You also said, quote, "Too many times I surround myself with people who don't let me know when I'm off my game, slacking or losing sight of my goal. Hashtag BOL," end quote. So let me just tell you Simply B, just by that breakthrough, you're going to now begin to surround yourself. And oh, by the way, this tribe is a great place to start. This community is the community for that. You're going to surround yourself with people who inspire you to not only become the best version of you, but just being in their presence makes you want to tippy toe. So I invite you, Simply Be, and anyone else who want to up-level your circle, up-level your tribe, come join us at any live event, because what I love are all the pictures after a live event of people who met at one of our live events and now they're in each other's lives. They're doing business together, they're friendships, they're working out together, they're starting projects together, they're investing in each other, they're doing so many things together. Up-leveling my surroundings, my tribe, my community was one of the first things that began to change my game. And in my episode, Release the Past to Shift Your Relationships, Miracle Acortha, your comment now. Oh my gosh. You said, "I've been letting my past hold me back because of my fear of change." That is a breakthrough by itself. You've also said, quote, "I've been stunting my relationship with my significant other, and I'm ready to work on my defensiveness, trust issues, and I'm ready to open up and allow myself to press the reset button so that we can grow. Therefore, before I speak, actively listen to him and to be open and to understand him." You then ended with saying, "Thank you. This was a huge BOL for me," with 4 exclamation points, end quote. Here's what I know. That's a relationship that just got better. While nothing is instant, it can take a turn in a moment. And what you just decided to do, literally without even telling your partner about the breakthrough, just acting on the information that you have and the information that you shared here, literally that will begin to change the experience you're having, because every relationship is like a tennis match. It's not like racquetball. You're hitting the ball against the wall. You're hitting the ball across the net. And the way you hit the ball determines the way your partner hits the ball back to you. So when you change from your forearm of being defensive, being argumentative, to your back arm, being understanding, being loving and flexible, all of a sudden the way that the relationship comes back at you changes as well. I love your comments. Keep commenting. It's that thing. Your comments are my fuel, so keep them coming. I love it. You know, one of the things that I notice as a woman is that we wear so many different hats. We have a hat of our spirituality, which is necessary for those of us who live inside of a faith. We have that as a family member, whether it be a daughter, a mother, a sibling. That as a significant other, if we're in a relationship. And then, if we're in business, we have that as a professional. Whether we're working for someone, delivering a result, want to be seen as an equal, or whether we are an entrepreneur, or whether we're a parallelpreneur and we work for someone else and we work for ourselves. There's so many hats that we wear, and each one of those hats can threaten our sensuality, because they require us to give energy in a different direction. It requires us to serve and give of ourselves over and over again. And sensuality comes from having a full tank. And so while sensuality, it feels like it's that dirty conversation, it's really not. Because sensuality is saying, I love me enough to celebrate my woman, to celebrate my man in its fullness. But the key word is that you have to feel full. And so often, as a man or a woman, as a mother or a father, as an employer, employee, as an entrepreneur, as a sibling, a daughter, a son, we're serving from a half empty cup or a bone dry cup. So there's nothing left to step inside a space of sensuality. There's nothing left to go, hey, I love the skin that I'm in, regardless of your size. There's always modifications that we're happy to make, but can you love this version? So the number one thing I would say is, what does it take, number one, to fill your cup up? Because as long as you're serving from a half empty cup or a bone dry cup, you won't even care about what sensuality looks like. Then number two, rid yourself of any shame or blame around loving your body. I realize that in order for my body to transform into the body that I love, and I'm still in the journey, but in order for it to do that, I had to love the body that I had. That was a big aha for me, that I was waiting to love my body until I released about 75 pounds. Well, if I'm not loving what I'm in, how can it transform to what I want? Because I'm not honoring and I'm not grateful for the body that I'm in. So can you be grateful? Can you be grateful for the curves? Can you be grateful for the muscles? Can you be grateful for the wrinkles? Can you be grateful for where your breasts fall or where your chest is? Can you be grateful? Because in your gratitude lives sensuality. Because sensuality is the result of acceptance. So when you say sensuality, the first thing we want to go to is a sexual experience, but it's not. It's so emotional. It's such a healthy place of emotion. And then it can trickle into that. But there's so many things that we need to feel full in loving us where we are, full in how we're serving and showing up for ourselves before we can even think of looking inside the mirror and loving what we see and adoring what we see. You know, I had someone tell me, and then I began to see it a lot on Facebook, I released almost 90 pounds, right? Like 89 pounds a few years ago. And I had so many comments that said, when you were larger, you really loved yourself. And I really thought about that. I just kind of sat with that because I really wanted to release the weight. And my sensuality, which I've always had, and my comfort in my body, which I've always shown, really had less to do with the size jeans I was wearing and more to do with the commitment of loving Lisa in a holistic way. And so your sensuality is a result of some decisions to put you first, to celebrate, honor, and adorn you. And when you celebrate, honor, and adorn you, you show that through getting rest. You show that through taking time off and vacationing. You show that by having meditation time and listening to the spirit. You show that through your sensuality and how comfortable you dance in your skin. It's just one form of saying, I'm showing up whole and complete for me, and then for everyone else. So now, I would be remiss if I didn't speak to the obvious. You got to be able to put on a little confidence to be able to show up in something other than a droopy t-shirt, or show up in something other than a pair of flannel pajamas, and show your body that you see your body and that you're willing to be 100% in your body. So ain't nothing wrong with a little lace. Ain't nothing wrong with loving what you're wearing with a better piece of satin. There's nothing wrong with stopping by the mirror and looking twice. There's nothing wrong with putting a little saunter in your step today. There's nothing wrong with flexing just a little more and living in what you would consider vanity, but it's just self-confidence. Because if you're not cheering for you, how can you expect us to cheer for you? And if you're not confident that you're the best game in town, how can we vote on you as the best game in town? And so, you know, we all talk about being humble, but I think that we also use humility as a reason and an excuse to shrink. And I think that while our hearts are right, that there's some time for us to stand up and to say, I am here. And when I step into a room, I bring all of me in that room. And to have that little something that come with you that make people go, I think it's necessary, and I think it's quite all right. Now remember, this show is not just a monologue. It's not just a conversation that I'm having one way. You know that. This show is a dialogue. And I would love to hear from you. I would love to know, what was a big lesson that you learned from this particular episode? we don't talk about sensuality all the time, and I know we definitely don't talk about it like that. It's always attached to a sexual experience and to another person. I intentionally made sensuality just about how you're showing up for you. And when you show up for you powerfully, and when you show up and love you whole and complete, now everyone else is going to get the best version of you. So I want you to leave me a comment. What was the aha that opened up for you? What did you need to hear? What did you forget? And now you remember. And of course, I want you to subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I want you to tell your friends, bring them here, send this particular message to them, send it to your girlfriend, send it to that guy that you know they just act like they don't even have their head is disconnected from their body. Send it to them. Say, wait a minute, it ain't over yet. We're still in the game. You know what? I want you to always know that this is your home and we are your tribe. And I'm your sister in prosperity and in possibility. I want to hear from you. What are the questions that you have for me? I want to answer your questions in upcoming episodes. I want to share with you the things that you want to know about. I get so many great questions that I use as a catalyst for my messages. I want to hear your questions. I want to use your questions as a catalyst for a great message. So please leave me your questions as well. And you know what I'm going to say. I don't say it because I don't have enough to say. I say it because I mean it. I believe in you. And I love you. I'm your sister. Always will be. Always happy to be. I'll see you real soon.